Moments away from tip-off, we take a look at the starting lineup, and Van Chancellor, most noticeably, the conference's defending Defensive Player of the Year, Rashawn Thomas, almost averaging a double-double, will not be in the starting lineup for a third straight day. Coach's decision in his place, one of the many freshmen on this year's squad for Willis Wilson and Perry Francois.
I think when you think about Thomas, he's a great player. They've done a great job of hanging on. I think he'll play tonight, but I think also Hamid's got to step up. Different players have got to step up. South has got to be a player for him tonight.
Marquise Pettigrew, Roger Schmitz, along with Jason Barth, are three officials for this evening's contest. Actually had a women's game between these two universities just moments ago, wrapping up with Robin Harmony's Cardinals prevailing. Willis Wilson ready to go. Actually drove himself up here for this game instead of taking the bus. He wanted to stop off over in Houston last night to watch a couple of talented twins that they have already signed for next year.
Recruiting's never going to stop. Your team is coming over and working and doing different things and going out and eating. You've got to jump up and you got to recruit. As Corpus gets the jump ball, they need to start early. On the road, it's good to score early first.
Of course, Corpus this year without names like Hamid Ali and Brandon Pye. It's a team that struggles to score inside if their shooters can't get going along the perimeter. Gore, the 6-year senior, will work it out to Kilgore, who's picked up a lot of the slack this year from the seniors who graduated a year ago and right on cue. First 2 points from Joseph Kilgore, the Houston product.
Kilgore did a nice job of backing his defender down, got him, did the little fall-away jump shot. Great patience by Corpus early.
Corpus has lost its last 7 road games. But the past 3 years that these two teams have met, the visiting team has prevailed each time. Core's reverse won't go.
You got to make that layup. You had a break. You got to finish it.
Weisbrod will have it poked out of bounds. Last touch by the Islanders.
This is going to be a fast-paced game, up and down. They're going to be able to get up and down, take quick shots. Transition defense for Coach Price is going to be very, very big tonight. The Islanders are going to play a lot of man. A lot of teams zone out of bounds, but they don't. They're going to hedge and double ball screens.
Right now just working around the perimeter. Weisbrod gets it from Davis. Weisbrod able to back in, great size, but the homegrown product here in East Texas just unable to finish. And it's a much more aggressive Jake Coer these days as a senior finally healthy back on the floor, but again, still 2-0 early on.
He's got a shot, got good looks. You got to be able to finish those plays. Good offensive rebound in by Lamar. They did a nice job of staying on the boards, fighting it, and 2 free throws.
We'll get another look at the contact underneath after Davis missed the 3. Free throws coming up for Zori Bosha.
Bosha did a nice job of, he's a shooting guard, but he did a nice job of stepping up, going to the opposite rebound. Most rebounds come out opposite from where the ball is shot.
Tick Price will have Bosha defending the best guard on the opposite team night in and night out. As the junior will miss the back end. Score with the rebound. Second chance opportunity taken away by Bosha. 5 on 3, the kick out.
Corpus Christi is doing a nice job of limiting Lamar to 1 shot. Every time Lamar misses the shot, Corpus comes off. Somebody's got to start making baskets here.
Kareem South, the redshirt freshman guard, to a former talented guard as a freshman, now in his 3rd year, and one of the leaders, Ehab Amin, out of Egypt.
Amin, you cannot give him that look. I've seen this kid play for 3 years. He's going to make every shot he gets. What a play. Nice shot. I think Thomas is going to come into the game. That's going to be a major difference.
It'll be Rashawn Thomas's first minutes since January 14th against Central Arkansas. You knew Will Sam Houston State, but Thomas, obviously averaging 18 points a ball game, will be a welcomed addition on the floor.
I could have told Thomas one thing. I've been knowing Coach Wilson since 1997. When I come out here to coach the Comets, he was coaching Rice. He don't put up with nothing from nobody. I don't care who you are. You better step up and go to class, do what you're supposed to.
Thomas with his first touch. Still 10 to shoot. from right in front of the Cardinals bench, off the mark and saved over to Lamar. Off to the races. Great athleticism on display. Bosha with the finish.
Bosha did a great job of a little up and under, avoiding the defender, finishing the shot. A lot of times players can get out there. They can't make the shot when they get there. Nice play.
Kareem South, the redshirt freshman guard out of Canada. As they work it in, a little international connection that's fed through Thomas up to Amin. And back-to-back possessions, Cardinals have their first 2 field goals.
No excuse. When you make a basket inside, you don't hustle back. You've got to get back and cover up for your post defender.
Kilgore, one of the veterans on this group that has 8 freshmen, including a couple of red shirts for Willis Wilson's Islanders. Thomas able to maintain the handle. Amin will be off the front iron. Follows it up, and Ehab 0 for 2, but finally tapped in by Francois.
Francois did a nice job of hanging around. When the ball went on the glass, he was up with both hands and knocked it in. You got to be able to block out this kid. He's pretty doggone athletic.
The Islanders will stretch their lead back to 4 here early on through 4.5 minutes of play. Well, the Cardinals trailing right now here at home by 4. A little transition opportunity early on, getting them their first bucket. Looking to battle back after this break. You're watching the Southland Conference on ASN. Couple of teams that have had their fair share of success over the years in the Southland Conference. Lamar does lead this series. As the past few years, however, the visiting team has actually gotten the better of the exchange in the last 6 meetings.
See, both of these teams are so evenly matched that when they play, it doesn't make any difference whether you're playing at home or on the road. And you now got Lamar going to run a little out-of-bounds play. Coach Price is going to run it, and you see Corpus Christi is in a 2-3 zone. You usually run one play against man and another play against the zone.
Lamar is actually 8-1 here at home this year. Their only loss was in overtime to a surprise squad from New Orleans in league play this year. And a foul by Schmidt. That's Elijah Schmidt out of the Houston area, Spring, Texas, from Klein High School. Again, one of the 6 true freshmen, 8 freshmen overall for Willis Wilson this year. This is after last year having 8 seniors, second in the nation in Division I, only behind Tulsa, who had 9.
Yes, and this is a team that does not have a lot of experience except for 2 players, but I think they're doing a great job.
Cardinals have trailed for the first 5 minutes here. Weisbrod, the spin. Able to recover the handle into the corner. In and out. Kilgore into Schmidt, too far underneath the basket. They'll hang on to it with 23 to shoot.
I'm going to go back. Amine, to me, is a great shooter. He has 5 points, but he does a nice job of rebounding the basketball. He, on the defensive end, for a 6'2" guard, he does a nice job of securing the rebound. You better watch him stepping inbounds now from out of bounds and shooting this 3-ball.
Well, we knew Amine for the past couple of years as a capable defender. We had not known him to be a guy who would average 18 points a night like he has this year.
But okay, I think that he still, when you get older, you take better shot selections. Thomas just got fouled. He committed what I think is one of the Cardinal basketball sins, and I'm not talking about the Lamar Cardinals here. You can't foul a jump shooter that's 15 feet from the basket. You have got to make him make. He's a 70% shooter, but make him make the shot.
Yeah, Rashawn Thomas, the pride of OKC, 70% free throw shooter this year.
And when you do that, Lincoln, all you do is you just bail him out. That's just one of the no-nos of play.
2 for 2. It's easy to forget Rashawn Thomas as a freshman is spending a lot of his time around the perimeter before really establishing himself as one of the best big men in the post over the past couple of seasons.
Right now, Corpus Christi is switching every screen 1 through 4, and that's causing Lamar a little problems. You see the ball go to the basket, knock down the shot.
Nick Garth was able to take that one past Thomas. Step inside for long 2 for Rashawn.
I think Thomas is trying to prove he can play inside and outside. Nice shot there.
Mentioned he is very comfortable around that perimeter. With his size at 6'8", naturally in the Southland has him playing in the paint.
This is, as you talk to the assistant coaches, Mark and Marty from over at Corpus, they're talking about they have not been quite as aggressive as they would like to be. And tonight, I think they've been very aggressive on the road against Lamar. They're subbing a lot of players in and out, but they're being very, very aggressive, and I think that's what they have to do.
Well, this is Cole Martinez coming in now for the first time tonight in place of Elijah Schmidt. Cole is a young man this year having a breakthrough season when he's healthy, averaging 10 points a ball game, but he's been day-to-day with a knee injury that dates back to that non-conference matchup against Oklahoma State. Of course, Brad Underwood's new squad up there in Stillwater.
And I think he's going to do a great job. He's a heck of a coach.
Core will poke it out, but rebounded by Chapman. Just enough time to breathe for the shot. Thomas with the rebound.
Thomas does a nice job of blocking out. But right now, Corpus is getting it up and down, trying. You can't have a turnover like that.
Kyle Brown's going to be called for committing the foul after having that ball poked away. And let's see if I read that incorrectly. No, Brown was the victim, the foul on Lamar.
And you and the Lamar player both thought he got fouled. But that's why you and him are not refereeing.
No, I'm comfortable in this chair.
I'm more than comfortable. That's when I quit coaching. That's one of the things I didn't miss, giving up, having to deal with them and criticize them all the time.
That gold medal in those 4 championship rings can get heavy. As Martinez will have it stripped away and able to hold on to it. Nick Garth out of Houston. Garth is one of the most prolific three-point shooters in the Southland this year. They're looking for Weisbrod. That's Thomas with the quick hands. Runs with Core, a couple of seniors. And Rashawn Thomas gets it going and gets the punctuation at the end.
The fans behind us thought he might have walked, but you ain't gonna get that call.
As we'll get another look at Rashawn Thomas from start to finish.
Yes, and does a nice job of stealing the ball, giving up the ball. I thought he was going to try to go score. I think at that time, you've got to be able to, when you get the ball, be ready to score. And I think that's what Thomas did. And see him split the defenders, step up in between, and knock it down.
Well, we talk about this Islanders squad that is only 2-5 in conference despite being picked 3rd in the preseason by the coaches and the media. But after you get through their starters, they've had such a young group in terms of next man up that injuries have really held them back early on. But they look to be full force here tonight. Scrum along the baseline as the Cardinals will come up with it. Got to value that basketball.
Too many useless turnovers at this time.
And Ehab Amin will go to the line.
I mean, not only can shoot the ball from outside, and he's such a threat from out there, shooting 48%. He does a nice job of taking the ball to the basket. He knows how to go to the free throw line. Now he's asking for a sub, but not these 2 free throws down. Let me tell you one thing, Lincoln. I was just a high school player, but if I had made about 4 baskets in a row, you couldn't get me to come out if I had to die on the court. I had Cynthia Cooper one time. She said she scored about 12 points in a row. She said, Coach, I might need a break. I said, you can get a break tomorrow. You're not coming out tonight.
You had a few Hall of Famers to back her up, though, along the way.
Yeah, Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson.
Amin has played for the Egyptian national team, and he will get his wish, a breather, for the young man who only knows one speed.
But you got to like, if you're Corpus Christi right now and you're Coach Wilson, you got to like how this game is going. You're on the road. You got to lead. You're kind of controlling tempo.
Well, Willis Wilson right now has both Francois and Thomas in the game together. We'll see what that length provides them. Well, Weisbrod doesn't mind going up against the Twin Towers.
Weisbrod has done a nice job. You see why he's averaging over 15 points a game. He can post up against Thomas, a big guy. Got the streak to get the job done.
Weisbrod started at New Orleans, then transferred to junior college nearby. We're finally landing here in his backyard at Lamar. Kilgore. Down by 5.
Great patience by Lamar. That's why they're shooting such a good field goal percentage. They're moving the ball. When you start out sluggish, be very patient, get a good look at the basket.
Over Thomas, it's good for Dorian Chapman.
Chapman, this Lamar team, I talked to Coach Price today. He's telling me that his bench has been a factor in what they're doing right now. This is part of the turnaround. He's able to use a lot of players who are able to contribute and do a lot of good things.
Chapman, 8 points a ball game off the bench. One of 4 players in double figures the other night on the road at Nichols. Weisbrod with the rebound. Cardinals have been sharing the ball so well the past few outings. Has to make Tick Price happy. Rebound now to Kareem South.
But you got to love the pace. It's up and down, an exciting game, a lot of good shots. They're going to set Thomas up on the block, make Lamar guard him, but he's just too hard to guard. They're going to have to find some way to double team him, but he's posting up about 15 feet from the basket, turning and jump, and it's hard just to double that.
Midway through the opening half, and the Cardinals pull within 2.
But great basketball by Lamar then. Dribble penetration off the high post screen when the defense collapsed. They kicked the ball out. They hit Owens for the open 3. That's another player coming off the bench. You've got Owens, you've got Chapman, different players contributing.
First score of the night for Owens, already a point shy of his season average. Thomas a step behind the arc, just a tad off the mark. And a walk is called, the turnover by Smith. We've got a tight one underway, a midweek classic building here in Beaumont, Texas. The Islanders hanging on to a 2-point advantage tonight here on ASN. take a look at our classroom champions. Two talented men on the floor, but just as impressive in the classroom. Cole Martinez, the pride of San Antonio, with that 3.6 GPA in educational administration, working on his master's. And Marcus Owens, the 3.34 GPA in communications, might be gunning for one of our jobs one day. Both of them so active in the community. Have to tip your hat to so many of these student athletes throughout the Southland Conference, as we see so many different individuals showing out their passion in different areas, giving help within the local communities that support them on game nights.
Yeah, you hear so much today about some of the problems that some of our student athletes have had, but we have 90% of them are just great people, do some wonderful things, involvement in the community. You take like Corpus Christi, don't get back home at 5 o'clock in the morning and got to go to 8 o'clock class. Let's give them credit for what they do.
Cardinals have a chance to tie this or take the lead for the first time since tip-off.
Tremendous defensive rebounding right now by Corpus Christi.
South unable to get the layup to go. Rashawn Thomas back on the bench, did not get the start tonight, but already has 8 points. And it is the Cardinals with their first advantage at home tonight. Another three-pointer from Owens.
Poor transition defense at that time. Somebody left the wide open players. And Owens, you got to be able to locate each one of the offensive players.
Kilgore. Coer wide open in the corner. Good for the 6th-year senior.
Once again, dribble penetration. One of the best things that's going on in basketball now. Dribble penetration, kicking to a shooter.
Coer broke his wrist last year in a game at McNeese. 2 of 3 seasons as an Islander that he's had to sit out with injury. Kilgore went up with the rebound, had a Cardinal on his back.
A great call. I think that's a call right now, Lincoln, as I watch a lot of basketball on television, that we just let rebounds. When you rebound the ball, we just let it go. I think we've got to start calling the rebound foul. It's a disadvantage for a person who blocks out. Somebody comes over their back.
Islanders coming off a 3-point loss at home against SFA and then a road loss at Sam Houston State. Hawthorne trying to find his first bucket down low.
Nice job right there by Corpus Christi. They brought the ball back out. Now they're going to set up, run a little high post screen and roll.
Kilgore, Weinsbrod couldn't close in time, and they'll rattle it home.
When you're Coach Price and you see that shot, you just love it. And then when he banks it in, it just deflates you a little bit.
Back to a 5-point cushion for the Islanders after briefly falling behind by 1. Hawthorne got just enough with that right hand. 3-on-1. Reverse Brameen off the mark.
That should have converted that layup. You've got to give up the ball quicker.
Blocked the last time down, and again by Hawthorne. That's 2 rounds for Hawthorne against Nzikor. Offense and defense. Islanders up by 5. Already a month into conference play, and we're less than a month and a half away from heading over to the west side of Houston to Katy, Texas. Hard to believe this will be the 10th straight year that the Southland Conference will be crowning its men's and women's basketball champions over there at the Montagne Center. Lincoln Rose Van Chancellor with you, and I know it's always a great time of year for you and the family.
I just love that tournament. It's not but about 7 or 8 minutes from my house. I get to drive over, and I get to see competitive basketball. You know what I like about the best thing about the tournament? The winner goes. A lot of other these tournaments, they send 17. In this league, you better win that tournament. You want to go to the NCAA. A lot of pressure.
7 minutes from the arena. Are you on Airbnb?
What in the world is that? I mean, this younger generation, ladies and gentlemen, this younger generation, it ain't going to pots, but it's got a long ways to go. I tell you that right now.
Dick Price and Willis.
Rhythm and Blues, is that what it is?
A couple of coaches tonight that have known each other for a long time. Great careers. Dick Price took over a struggling Lamar program, struggling both in the classroom and on the floor, and quickly turned things around. Amin to Kilgore, a couple of the constants over the past. Smith, the red shirt freshman.
What I'm just sitting here. Sometimes I fail to comment because I'm just enjoying watching the game. It's so exciting. It's up and down. Not a lot of turnovers. Do you realize right now just hadn't turned the ball over very much? 3 for each team. That's not bad.
Well, and with that said, these are two of the top teams in the nation in forcing turnovers.
That's a man's rebound right there. You see Thomas get that rebound? I think Thomas has got to give up that ball. He's not a guard. He doesn't need to be trying to. What a 3-ball right there. What a nice 3-ball by Garth.
Nick Garth able to dial up another one. Third triple tonight for the Cardinals.
I'd like to see Thomas give up the ball a little bit and go get himself in position, not be a ball handler.
Kilgore can't get enough spin on that one.
I thought he could have shot it on the left-handed side instead of doing the other. Take an easy shot. They don't give you any points for style. They only give you points for going in the hoop.
Joey Frenchwood with the dribble is 5th in the league right now with his 4 assists per ball game. Made every start thus far. Looking for an assist right here. Owens goes in for the closer look around Thomas, who alters it just with his presence. 3 to shoot. And they're not going to be able to get a shot off. I say that the foul is called before the buzzer sounds, and Weisbrod right now is down on a knee.
We got a little situation here. Coach Wilson is saying should have been a 30-second shot violation before the foul.
That whistle was blown a split second before the shot clock struck 0. The backboard's never lit up. Willis Wilson thinks that buzzer might have gone off if we were in Corpus Christi tonight.
We'll see it now. The shot clock is still going. It has not touched the rim at this time.
That's 1 second, and the foul is a split second before the 0. Meanwhile, first free throw is off the mark from Nzikor.
Texas A&M and the University of Georgia had one where the clock stopped with 5.6 seconds, and Georgia thought they had time and ran it in. They put it back on the clock and disallowed the foul, and Texas A&M won. That was at home.
Islanders briefly trailed a few possessions back as a short-lived advantage for the Cardinals. Thomas, another rebound already here early on.
Coach Price told me 2 years ago he was in church, and the president called him and said he didn't know what in the world the president wanted with him. He wanted him to be the interim coach.
Took over for Pat Knight with a couple weeks left in that 2013-2014 season. This is his now 3rd full year at the helm. And another whistle down inside. 5th team foul on the visiting Islanders.
Garth thought he might have got fouled, but I want to say, Garth, they don't usually give you fouls when you're shooting from downtown Beaumont. You got to get a little closer to, but nice offensive rebound by Josh at this time.
Yeah, Nzikor is out of Mesquite, Texas, on the east side of Dallas, just a sophomore. A lot of playing time last year as a true freshman.
when you can find a big kid, 6'8" kid that can knock down free throws, that's a tremendous plus for you.
Well, Tick Price will tell you he's his most improved player. He's coming off a double-double against Nichols. A lot of that offensive rebounding to give them second chance opportunities.
For the first time, we're going to see a little half-court trap, doubling the ball when it crosses the center line, a little 1-2-2.
Colin Hale in the ball game. And now the 15th foul on the Cardinals. Rashawn Thomas, by the way, his next field goal will have him surpass his former teammate John Jordan as the all-time leading scorer for the Islanders. He's already the all-time leading shot blocker as of earlier this year during non-conference play. Islanders are enjoying as much success as they have ever been able to string together as Cardinals force the turnover. Still 24 to shoot. Good look on the baseline, side of the iron. Kilgore will have it fall in his lap.
Kilgore is like me. He does a nice job of defensive rebounding from the wing position.
Thomas, extra pass to Core. And they still cannot get the Bunnies to go.
Now, they've missed about 5 shots trying to reverse shoot the ball.
Cardinals have only led for 20 seconds tonight. Another chance here.
Great patience, though. Lamar's had 3 or 4 opportunities to put up a quick shot, come down, be very patient, get a good look at the basket.
And again, they take the lead with a triple. It's Dorian Chapman.
And see, this is the player coming off of the bench. Right now, when you look at it, Chapman has given them a real spark. He's a kid that's, he's 6'7", plays big.
Well, Dorian Chapman was just 1 for 9 from beyond the arc this season. More importantly now, 2 for 10. A big one just a moment ago. Largest lead of the night, up by 3. Laundry day for some, you imagine, here in Beaumont. As Cardinals with a 3-point lead, their second lead of the evening, thanks to a moment ago, the 3-pointer for Chapman. As again, Tick Price has his Cardinals in the hunt for at least one day off in Katy, if not perhaps a top 2 seed, which would mean you start in the semifinals.
Yes, but let me say this. When you've been where they've been the last couple of years, you just would like to get to Katy. If I got to play the first day, I'll play the first day. I'd like to get a little bye so I could get a little rest. But when you want to make the tournament, because that's what you're judged by. That's what your people's going to judge you by. How much success do you have?
Double down on Kilgore. Martinez from the corner. And it's another rebound for Weisbrod. That's now 5 here in the opening half.
Westbrook has not scored a lot, but he's been a factor. He's been a great influence as far as defensive rebounding and poise and confidence.
Weisbrod was looking for the pass first. Kilgore with the reach in. That is the second whistle on Kilgore.
Right now, Lamar has great ball movement. They're passing the ball. They're working around. Usually when you do that, your shots start falling. Early they couldn't get a shot to fall. On the other end, Corpus Christi can't make a little bunny shot up inside.
Amin with the rebound. Reminder coming up at the break. It's the Mid-South Bank halftime report. We'll talk to Jason Henderson, athletic director here at Lamar. Also check in on a feature on Colton Weisbrod and his unique story of how he wound up back at home here in Beaumont. And finally, the highlights and stats recapping this opening half. Again, all that coming up here on ASN during the Mid-South Bank halftime report. Well, Ehab Amin, in my mind, really made his presence known as a freshman against Stephen F. Austin on Valentine's Day 2 years ago. John Jordan was in early foul trouble. Amin saw extended minutes. Next thing you know, they topple SFA, who had not been beaten in over a year in Southland Conference play.
Then he's an excellent free throw shooter. He shoots the three ball really well. He's shooting 80%. When you put him on the line, it's like giving him a layup. But right now, you've got a game. I think this is going to be a very close game. So this end, the 2 minutes right here before halftime could be very valuable to both teams.
David Bloom comes on for the Islanders, his 14th game this year, averaging just under 7 minutes per contest. And they work around Bloom to Weisbrod. Just the second buck of the night for Colton.
Yes, and they do a nice job of getting the ball to Colton where he can finish it and really dribble drive it and move it.
2 minutes to go here in the opening half. Lamar with its second lead still intact. Thomas, offensive rebound and a jump ball. The possession arrow will give it to the home squad.
I think the jump ball is too quickly called. I think there are a lot of jump balls. I don't say this one, I didn't see that. They're called when there's not a jump ball. It's a way to bail it out. I wish they would do away. If you had referees tossing the ball, that would have been a jump ball right there. Guarantee you.
Weisbrod with the two, the last trip down, denied by Thomas. Amin trying to lob one in for Kilgore, and off the mark.
See, I didn't think that there was a prayer of making that. You got to know when you can and when you can't. It's about decision making. I thought there were two defenders back. Come down, be patient. If you don't have it, don't try to force it.
So again, Nick Garth, the sophomore, with the methodical dribble. He's with 11 points off the bench, night in and night out as a reserve. They try to force it into Weisbrod. Kilgore with the steal. Islanders are number 6 in the nation in steals per contest. That guy leads the way in the Southland Conference after being second fiddle to his own teammate Hamid Ali last year in steals.
And he does I told you, that kid is just around the ball, whether it's on the defensive side or the offensive side.
You saw Amin slap the floor. They're looking for a defensive kill, a third straight stop denying a Lamar score. Shot clock down to 4. And walking along the baseline. 3 straight possessions without points for the Cardinals. Their lead down to 1. And the shot clock off for the rest of the half.
Now if I'm Corpus Christi, I'm going to take and run the shot clock down. I'm going to get the last shot of this half. I'm going to go in at halftime. Lamar will never touch this ball again. Run it down to about 10. Run a meet off of about 4 different screens.
Kilgore, and Frenchwood at midcourt. And there's a walk from Thomas, an assist from row 3 right behind us.
Yes, I think there's no doubt walking on one end. I think that when Thomas is getting double teamed, he'd be a lot better off. I thought they shot it too quick. Now they're going to give Lamar a shot at the basket.
Inside to beat the buzzer. 31-28. The Cardinals get 2 more from Nzikor. Lamar kicking off a 4-game homestand tonight against the Islanders, looking to continue to climb the Southland Conference standings. Mid-South Bank halftime report coming up next here on ASN. Cardinals with a 3-point lead here at halftime on ASN as we welcome you into the Mid-South Bank halftime report. One of their star players this year, Colton Weisbrod, grew up 10 minutes down the road in Nederland, but his trek to become a Cardinal a bit longer, as ultimately Brooke Kirchhoffer has the story.
Baseball seemed to be the golden ticket for a young boy out of Nederland, Texas, until his freshman year when he would make the varsity basketball team.
I'll tell you one thing, I never thought I'd be playing basketball. I enjoyed it. It's always out in the driveway playing with my older brother and his friends. I thought I was, decent at it. But I never thought I'd be at the Division I level.
And there just so happened to be a Division I university right down the road.
Always wanted to come to Lamar. Being a hometown kid, I always thought that was, would be an option maybe. I'd end up here. I didn't. To begin with, that's okay. It ended up, my life brought me back here.
College started out in New Orleans for the Southeast Texas native and where life would soon take place.
It was interesting. It started off, got out there in the summer and everything, and things, it was a new experience, kind of tough at first. And then the season, it was a bit rocky, but found out I was having a little boy. Allison, the mother of my son, and my fiance, we kind of decided that we were going to want to raise him back here. And, I think it's something that we knew, but we didn't want to make public.
Starting out at the Division I level, Colton Weisbrod never thought he'd see himself playing basketball at a state college, but he would soon be calling Carl Parker Center home.
I think, going back to junior college, like what you said, the extra time really helped me. I grew as a person, as a man, as a father, and I think last year molded me to help me this year.
Finding success is always key for any athlete, but there's more to the athlete than just the stats.
I had seen some quick success at the junior college level, so I don't know where that recruitment would have taken me. You know, it could have taken me to a big-time school, could have taken me wherever, but none of that mattered because I wanted to be here with my family, be with my son, you know, the people around here supporting me. You know, I wanted to be here for all of this.
In Beaumont, Texas, Brooke Kirchhoffer for ASN.
Colton and his Cardinals up by 3 at halftime. Mid-South Bank continues when we come back on ASN. Mid-South Bank halftime report continues here inside the Montagne Center. Cardinals trying to improve to 5-3. This is part of a women's and men's doubleheader as Robin Harmony's women picked up a victory earlier today against the Islanders. We welcome in athletic director here at Lamar, Jason Henderson. And, well, first let's talk about those women. This is a group that's playing for a day, maybe 2 days off in the conference tournament.
Exactly. It's really where we want to be going in this. We've got 4 home games in a row here coming up, or 4 out of 5 actually. And it's really a good time for us to get some wins underneath our belt, improve on the 6-2 record that we have now, and really try to play for one of those top 2 seeds in Katy, where we want to be at the end of the year.
Well, what a hire, meanwhile, for the men. Tick Price proved to be, came in late in that March of 2014 and has really built this program in his image.
Yeah, he really has. It's the tough nose. They're going to play, the entire length of the court. They're going to play 40 minutes. Really excited about what they're doing, and you're really starting to see this young team develop and become what we thought it could be, and it'd be a lot of fun here at the Montagne Center.
Well, that was a great hire back in 2014. Meanwhile, at the end of this football season, you announced Mike Schultz as your newest football coach. This is a man who knows the Southland Conference and knows Texas high school recruiting.
He really does. He's really made his mark already with the recruiting class he's going to put together and what we'll announce next Wednesday on National Signing Day. So we're really excited about that. He's done a great job in the Golden Triangle, getting out, meeting the coaches, being part of the community and doing those type of things. So he's really ingrained himself into Lamar University and the community, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, we go from the Golden Triangle to how about that diamond coming up this spring? I say this because right behind the student band, there are some young men missing their shirts. This is the half of the baseball team that lost the Fall World Series within its own club over there, and ultimately losing that bet.
Well, not a bet, because we don't do that in intercollegiate athletics, but it was a great part of the series, and they want to play for everything, and just knows the competitive nature that we're going to have day in and day out there. After Coach Gilligan retired last year, after the great run that he had here and everything they've done here, Coach Davis has come in and really kind of taken over that mantle, and really excited about to see what he can do in his first year. And it'll be a fun time out there at Vincent Beck Stadium.
We're in no rush to get to the spring sports. Basketball season still has a lot in store here in Beaumont, but we certainly look forward to what's on the horizon in the coming months. Jason Henderson, it's always great to catch up with you. Again, the athletic director here at Lamar. Their Cardinals lead 31-28 here in the midst of the Mid-South Bank halftime report on ASN. Mid-South Bank halftime report here in Beaumont, Texas tonight inside the Montagne Center, as it's a school night, but the students making a priority to come out and watch the Cardinals, who have more often than not found the way to win, except ultimately now 7-1 on their home court. As Van Chancellor, we take a look at the first half. For the Islanders, a familiar source in Ehab Amin.
And when you got Amin, you got somebody that can knock down the threes, can make free throws, is a really good rebounder. He's on the boards, and right now he's got 10 points, 6. You see him right there, gets all the loose balls. He's a player that I want to really have on my team because he's such a scrapper and a hustler.
Well, luxury the Islanders don't have that the Cardinals do is a guy like Dorian Chapman off the bench.
Yep. Chapman came in, and what a spark he was. He's knocking down the shots from inside and outside. He's got 7 points. And when you can bring in a reserve to get you 7 points, and he doesn't need a lot of shots to get his 7 points. He only had 4 shots to get 7 points. That's the stuff that I really like.
6 Cardinals have scored. He is your leading scorer with 7 off of the bench. A 3-point lead for the Cardinals when we come back for the start of the second half in Beaumont. Well, we close out the Mid-South Bank halftime report by recapping some of the stats that stand out. Go straight to that bottom line, and that is a luxury Tick Price has this year that Willis Wilson does not.
I don't think there's any doubt that it's naturally. You see it on the boards. It's beat sports. It's 18-8. And then another stat that's not on there, points in the paint. Right now, Lamar is just tearing it up in the paint. They're up 22-8. But I still think that Corpus Christi is going to have to take a little bit better shot selection. I like how Thomas is playing. I think he's trying to do a little too much. When he's getting double teamed, he's going to have to give up the ball. When you're only down 3 on the road, you got to feel good. Coach Wilson's got to think we got to make some plays now.
Willis Wilson does have Rashawn Thomas starting here in the second half. 8 points off the bench in that first 2 sets of quarters. Go with 6 rebounds.
Got to be very patient on offense to start on the road. If it's not there, move the basketball, get a good look, penetrate.
Core finds South. And a loose ball foul. Jake Core trying to track it down.
They got a meet on an offensive rebound, pushing off under the basket. Now you got to come out. You got a wide open look. You didn't make it. Now you got to have a stop. If you're Texas A&M-Corpus Christi, you got to have a stop. But right now, Lamar's been very, very patient on offense. This is a move I like. If we go down now, we're going to run kind of a little spread, come up with a high post screen, and get great ball movement.
Weisbrod going strong to the hole. Second rejection tonight from Rashawn Thomas. These Islanders are coming off back-to-back 20-win seasons. Last year, 25 victories, was one shy of that 2007 campaign when they won their one and only Southland Conference tournament title to move on to the NCAA tournament. Last year, they lost in the final to SFA in Katy. And Rashawn Thomas, with that one rattling home, becomes the all-time leading scorer in Islanders history.
Yes, and there's been some nice players that I can remember. A guard named Jordan could fill it up. When you're the leading scorer for your university, pretty doggone salty.
That's a dish. Weisbrod, the reverse is good.
That's off of dribble penetration. You get dribble penetration and you bring it there. I don't think Coach Wilson likes what's going on. He's taking it. This is an attention-getter timeout.
Anybody's ball game. Southland Conference victory on the line tonight in what's a tight race in the league. Well, they are one foul shy of wanting Kentucky. It's been that kind of year here for Lamar. Sights are set pretty high. They want to get into that conference tournament and move on to the NCAA tournament. Right now, it's the Privateers of UNO on track to get the automatic bid out of the Southland Conference. Still plenty of basketball left to be played here in the regular season, though. Back to the corner, this time with success from Coer.
Lamar tried to double team, trapped the ball. It backfired on him. Corpus did a nice job getting out of the trap, reversing it for the 3 ball.
Joey Frenchwood locks eyes with his head coach, Tick Price, to get the call. That's Weisbrod on Amin, and that is, again, your top theft man in the Southland. Thomas will be called for the offensive foul. Second whistle on Thomas of the ball game.
I don't think you can give him the ball right there. I think that the problem is you got to stop it and give him a chance to catch his feet, get his feet under him so he won't run over somebody. Good call.
Joey Frenchwood, braver than most of us, standing in there to take the contact. 3 Islanders. Amin went for the block, thought he had all ball, but instead will be whistled for his second foul.
When you're a coach, I'm going to give you this as a coaching point of view. I'm not criticizing the referees, but the ball happened on the left block. The guy standing in front of the Lamar bench makes the call. He's going to say he had a great angle. From a coaching point of view, you'd say, hey, wouldn't that be something when somebody else just a little bit closer than you?
And Lamar still looking to take the lead here with this next free throw. Two for 6 tonight from the line for Josh.
I thought that was a really good call. Amin had the basketball. He was taking it to the basket. The defender kept pushing. You got to make that call. Good call.
Ehab Amin, 3 for 8 from the floor tonight. The Islanders now for the ball game, shooting right around 30%.
And you got to think you're fortunate. You're in the game shooting 30%.
Kilgore straight to the rim.
What a basketball play. He had it. Garrett went to the rack, and I mean knocked it down.
He had the numbers advantage, but he liked his own odds.
That's the best shot in basketball.
Pretty high percentage, isn't it? It puts the Islanders back on top by a pair. 10 to shoot now. Quick release. And ultimately a nice stroke again out of the right hand of Bosha. A quiet assassin is what his head coach Tick Price calls him.
Corpus Christi slowed the ball down a little bit. They're not running 80 miles an hour, and they're getting a little set, taking their time, getting a good look.
Kilgore, a moment ago, was up close and personal with the rim. This time keeps his distance and connects.
I'll tell you this much, Lamar, you better find somebody to jump on him. If Kilgore makes one more, he's feeling it right now. Anytime a guy shoots the ball, Lincoln, and he puts his right hand in the basket, he's feeling it.
That three was just east of the Sabine River on that State of Texas at half court.
Dang, you know all your geography around here, buddy. Bring it out. Lamar's been very, very patient, getting a good look, dribble penetration and dish.
Wise brought inside, had Thomas off balance.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see Thomas do.
Amin. And a lot of contact both ways. Bosha watched the defender fly right by, and then will finally pull the trigger.
Bosha does the nice job of ball faking, sending the defender to cover the ball in the corner. But remember this, you got to guard the ball first. Don't be worried about the next pass.
Bosha's made his last 2 3-pointers now. For Lamar's last 6 points, gives them the 1-point edge. So Kilgore with an emphatic slam a moment ago to give the Islanders what was a short-lived advantage, but a lasting impression. Boscia with a pair of threes, and his Cardinals lead by 1 here in the second half with 14.5 to go. The Southland Conference on ASN, brought to you by Mid-South Bank. It's time to love your bank. By Jostens, your most trusted partner in celebrating moments that matter. And by Universal Coin and Bullion, America's gold expert. Well, it's been a special year for Lamar. Right now up by 1, trying to improve to 5-3 and keep themselves among the top half in this Southland Conference. This is a league that is up for grabs really for the first time in a handful of years.
But right now, if you're trying to protect one of the top 4 bids, it's all about winning at home, protecting home court.
Oh, 6 years removed from playing his high school ball in Austin, Texas, as Core able to again find success from beyond the arc. Weisbrod will whip one to the corner, and Core with the rebound.
See, I think I like this pace a little bit better right here. Just take your time.
Too tall for Thomas. A second bite at the apple will go. Rashawn Thomas now 1,569 career points as an Islander.
Lamar, be patient, run your offense. See if you can get the ball inside to your leading scorer. But right now, Corpus Christi is just switching all screens.
At the 3 a moment ago, in for a closer inspection. Still within his range, Nick Garth.
Nick Garth is a good mid-range jump shooter. That's something that's lost today in today's games. It's either all or nothing from the three-point line or inside. As you see, Nick does a nice job of ball faking Garth, carrying it to the basket, and hitting about a 12-footer.
Well, he's number 2 in the league, shooting 45% from beyond the arc. Had 6 of them against Nichols the other night on the road. And a foul on the Cardinals at midcourt.
Very, very good call. I like that call. When you're defending like that, don't get up so close. Where can they go? You don't have to crowd them. Back off of them. Make your offense. If you got him trapped, he's picked up his ball screen. That's enough. Don't bail him out by fouling.
So fresh shot clock for Kilgore. As he's picked up at midcourt by Francewood. A walk on Thomas.
See, I think Thomas there, every time he touches it, Coach Price is sending a double team from a guard. He's got to recognize it and throw the ball out to the weak side and give an open look. He's trying to go 1 against 2, and he's really struggling.
Yeah, it's the difference this year for Rashawn Thomas. With so many teammates injured, they've struggled to score along the perimeter and take pressure off of him. Teams have been able to afford to double down, triple down on last year's Defensive Player of the Year. And now it's Thomas showing off his handles. Finally, he'll kick it out. And they'll reset things with the junior Amin.
Amin can play inside, plays outside, plays the point, plays the wing. He can do it all.
Well, he can play inside because he can get up in such a hurry. Up ahead, Chapman able to keep it in play. From long range, second most prolific three-point shooter in the league, off the mark that time. Amin with 3 white shirts in the area, won't go. But Core with the offensive rebound.
Core's done a nice job of hustling and getting the ball, knocking down the three. They're running a little high post screen, and then they're trying to reverse the ball and get it to Thomas inside.
He'll lose it, and it's last touch by the Islander. Islanders unable to grow their advantage, hanging on to a 2-point lead on the road tonight, looking for their first road win since back in November. Islanders led at halftime by 3. Right now hanging on to a 2-point advantage on the road tonight against Lamar. We take a look around the conference tonight and tomorrow. These are your midweek matchups for the men. A tight one over there in Hammond. That is your other surprise this year, behind only UNO, who will host the Cowboys of McNeese tomorrow. UIW still at home. They beat SFA for the first time in program history this past weekend over at the McDermott Center. And our one other game tonight, SFA bouncing back, hosting the Bears of Central Arkansas.
And the Bears of Central Arkansas have got a great player in Jordan. He can just shoot the ball. I had him against HBU. He was just shooting the ball from downtown Houston. It's going to be a great finish here. Teams are battling for the, you talk about 1 and 2. How about just making the playoffs? There's some of them down there now at 6, 7, and 8, just hanging on for dear life.
The Islanders started 2-0 on the road this year. They've lost their last 7 coming into tonight. But this is a conference within league play. The good teams are winning their home games and able to steal a few on the road, but a lot of parity.
Yes, somebody I talked to, Coach Mike over at Northwestern, he thought there might be 5 losses or 4 losses for sure for the team that wins. Right now, I think the surprise team right now would probably be New Orleans first, and then this team right here.
Again, the Islanders last year went 15-3 in conference. This year, if somebody can go 15-3, they're champions.
I don't think there's any doubt. I think right now that there's a lot of teams would take 15-3.
Willis Wilson, the most decorated coach in Rice University history over in Houston, where he led his alma mater. And has done a great job now down on the island. He has to look on as the Cardinals find yet another 3 here tonight. They're now 7 of 19 from beyond the arc.
Yes, and another player off of the pan over there. Owens is making shot.
That is his 3rd. A foot race the other way, stepped out of bounds.
Great hustle at that time. You got to give Noah credit. Almost had the steal. This is the crucial part in the game. You got 10 minutes to go. You're only down 1. If you're Coach Wilson and this basketball team, that's not a bad sign. Stay right there. And does a nice job of getting the meat in and out. Give him about a minute. Get him back into the game. Let him rest just a little bit. Use the TV timeout. He had the TV timeout plus a minute's rest. Get him in the game. He's rest tomorrow. Play him tonight.
Islanders with a chance to recover the lead here midway through the second half.
Little high post screen and roll. Get a Meade trying to pop up off the weak side for a shot.
Kilgore, one of 3 Islanders in double figures scoring. That time, the foul called against Noel.
Too much pressure on the ball. I don't think that's a bad foul. I can't stand a foul about 60 feet from the basket. That's guard and dribble penetration. You can't fault that too much.
Both teams have been whistled 4 times now here in the second half. Not a lot of free throws in this ball game. Islanders are 5 of 6. Cardinals 3 of 9. And another whistle off the push.
I thought that might have been 2 free throws. I thought Thomas had already gathered. One official thinks that's gathering and shooting, and the other one says he ain't thought about a shot.
I think Rashawn Thomas would agree with you.
Yes.
Chapman will come out. And Secor back in. Quick hands. Ball stripped away, still a scrum. It'll be a tie-up on the floor. As Hale came diving in to cover up Marcus Owens.
Now that was a good jump ball possession, Lamar, but that could be a key possession late in the game if Corpus can get, a jump ball and get the ball back.
So not only have these Cardinals already surpassed their win total last year with 12 overall, but they've also topped their conference record last year, 4 wins after just 3 a year ago. A hard-fought victory on the line tonight. A step back for the 3. Good.
See, I think sometimes Corpus Christi is double teaming inside. I don't think they have to. I think they should let their post player go one-on-one, Thomas, and don't double the inside guy, because that's creating a 3-ball outside.
So 3 more for Noel. He's got a dozen. Weisbrod pinned between 2 Islanders. Extra pass inside. Cardinals fans are back in this one. The most recent 2 from NC Corp. Islanders want a timeout. They're looking up at a 6-point deficit on the scoreboard. Largest lead of the night for the Cardinals.
And right now, here's what is happening. Corpus Christi is trying to double and penetrate to the basket. Lamar is coming in and doubling the ball handler, and they won't give it up, and they're getting double teamed, and they're kicking the ball loose and getting it and scoring on the other end. I think Corpus Christi's got to give up the ball just as soon as they see the double team from the other guard. What Lamar's done is Coach Price has made a defensive change. When he sees dribble penetration by the team in blue's guards, he's sending the off guard to go get them and double the ball, and they're knocking the ball loose. That's about 2 or 3 consecutive turnovers. Watch it next time. Coach Wilson's team's going to have to give up the ball a little bit quicker.
couple of veteran coaches with teams that reflect their personality.
I thought it was a great timeout. You can tell they're an experienced coach. You can't wait on the TV timeouts. You can't let the game get away from you. Okay, here comes the double team. You've got to be able to split the double team.
Amin able to save the possession for now. Coer again.
Coer makes a big-time shot. But you see what I'm telling you? On pressure, they come out and they're doubling the ball or trapping it, and you got to be able to give up the ball.
The man is 4 for 4 from beyond the arc. And went out of bounds. Willis Wilson didn't care for the call. Thought Ehab Amin saved it. Amin obviously sides with his coach. Marquise Pettigrew was right on top of it.
I think he thought he got fouled. You see the ball come out.
Oh, Amin thought Lamar touched it last and he was able to stay out of the way.
Yes, that's what he thought.
You and I, mind readers. It's going to go back over to the Islanders.
But when a ref puts up both hands like to say, Coach, here's what a coach is saying. Go get some help from one of your teammates. You didn't ask for help. You acted like you had it, and then when I question it, you open your hands up. I want you, when you don't have it, go ask a friend. And that wasn't there a show that did, TV show that did that, ask a friend or something?
That's right. I don't want to explain who Regis Philbin is. Weisbrod has an open teammate on the wing. Doesn't need to make the pass. Weisbrod will take it home. Thomas the other way. And Rashawn Thomas will be headed to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Up ahead, and you'd love to reward the big man for running the floor, Colton Weisbrod. And the Cardinals up by 5. Well, here on the American Sports Network, we take a look back at last week's Player of the Week in the Southland Conference. A couple of games under the belt of John Dewey III, averaging 16.5 points per contest, including a victory over these Islanders. Young man leads the conference with 5.5 assists per ball game. He is the only player in the Southland with more assists per game than Joey Frenchwood for Lamar. Again, John Dewey III, our Universal Coin Player of the Week.
Well, John, congratulations. You're playing for a heck of a coach. Keep it up, buddy.
Rashawn Thomas shooting a pair, makes the front end, gives him a baker's dozen off of the bench tonight after sitting out the last 2 games against SFA and Sam Houston State. Bearcats were your preseason favorites, getting the edge over SFA in the preseason poll. After Stephen F. Austin's won the regular season title the last 4 years, gone on to the NCAA tournament the last 3. Weisbrod had the last 2, this time looking for Noel. blocked that time by Francois. That's a 6'8" freshman.
So I think it's good to have him back in the game. He can make a difference. They don't have to double now. Francois is in the game. He's big enough, long arms enough, set ball screens.
Got the start in place of Thomas, but for several minutes tonight, played side by side. Joey Frenchwood. So the Cardinals will get back on defense. You'll typically see them man-to-man, but again, Tick Price, you know, every now and then likes to throw in a wrinkle to keep you honest, and very aware of that when we spoke to Willis Wilson on the phone earlier this week. He knows Tick Price so well. Oh, Smith guilty of walking before pulling up.
I ain't got to worry about what should be called. I'm listening to these guys behind me. I know what should, I can see what be. And then that was a tough call because it's getting ready to knock it down. You're reaching a crucial part in the game now. Corpus Christi's got to find a way to get some defensive stops.
A 5-point lead for the Cardinals with 6.5 to go, and they'll never get a shot off. Kilgore, extra pass, 4 for 4, 4 for 5.
Good call, but a good foul. I think that right there, Thomas had inside position. If you let him have it, if you don't take the foul, he's going to put the offensive rebound back in. Lamar, good foul. If you put him on the line, you put him on the line.
Jake Corr was 0 for 3 inside the arc, had made all 4 from beyond the perimeter before that shot. And Thomas back at the line. 15 points for the senior.
He's been from the free throw line. He's shooting 70%. He's done a nice job.
Now 2 shy of his season average of 18.
Really great rotation on this free throw. And he's got great arc. When you do that, you're going to usually make them.
He's made them tonight. Now 6 for 6. Past 3 Islanders, Colton Weisbrod now in double figures.
Does a nice job of setting up, posting up, and splitting the defenders.
Corr on Weisbrod. First score inside the arc tonight for the senior.
What a basketball game. 3-point difference with 5:22. You remember the shot right before the half? I thought that would be the difference in the game. It may be the difference in this game.
You don't want to leave early to beat traffic?
Oh, this is too good a game.
Noel goes at Thomas, not going to win that battle. And it's back over to the Islanders. Last touch by Weisbrod.
Well, I thought he's done a nice job of just getting after it, playing. I like how he's played tonight. Great shot selection, tremendous defender, and plays hard. But you get a great player playing hard. That just inspires the rest of it.
Again, Kareem Smith is your redshirt freshman point guard. Thomas needs help. Oh, great pass to Amin. Extra pass to Kilgore.
See, but that's what Thomas has to do. He's getting double teamed. He can't force the action. When you got 2 players on you, somebody's got to be open mathematically. Give up the ball.
Kilgore is the guy who has stepped up in place of Hamid Ali. Lost to graduation this last year. Noel wants it. Noel from the corner. And the Cardinals will settle down.
Tremendous offensive rebound. That time giving them another possession. And late in the game, possessions, those are so vital.
Valuing the basketball here, up by 1 inside of 4 minutes to play. Foul will be on the body on Kilgore. Weisbrod, when we come back, will be at the free throw line, looking to add to a 1-point lead in Beaumont tonight here on ASN. Well, finally healthy, Jake Core in the starting lineup, 4 for 5 from beyond the arc, has been brilliant tonight.
He's done a great job of getting himself open. He's shooting in rhythm, and that's so important. See him be ready to shoot. So many people are not ready to shoot when they catch the basketball. Whereas on the other end, Owens has just come off of the bench and just shot the living eyes out of it. And he's had the same rhythm. They're delivering him the ball wide open. Somebody's got to put a hand in each one of these kids' faces at the end of this game with 3:43 to go.
Marcus Owens is your leading scorer for the Cardinals off of the bench tonight with 12 points. Again, the Cardinals still outscoring the Islanders off the bench 26-16, thanks to that young man who knows his multiples of 3.
Yes, and I think that somewhere in here you're going to have to get him back in the game. You got 3:43 to go. He's playing too well. But right now, this game is going to go down to the last second shot with about 30 seconds to go.
Weisbrod now 1 for 2 from the line tonight. Cardinals are 4 of 10, while the Islanders have been 9 of 10 thus far.
Yes, when Weisbrod right now is the difference in the game late. He is not showing it just scoring. He's done it with post-ups. Corpus is having to double-team him. He's kicking it out to shooters like Owens, and they're able to knock it down.
Yeah, he has 3 steals, goes 6 rebounds, and 11 points. So Islanders still within a possession here, down by 2 after Weisbrod makes 1.
Little ball screen with Thomas, but every time you ball screen, they're doubling it. They're doing a nice job of not letting Thomas hail the ball.
Thomas with a man on his back from 15 feet straight away.
So much, Thomas, for listening to this guy over here on the sideline. 2 people guarding you. Way to step up and just knock it down.
2 people that he saw guarding him, and another one casting a shadow. Shot clock halfway down with 3 minutes to go. An even ball game at 56. Well, Owens isn't the only one who can hit the 3. His teammates have come up with 5 of them now, including that one from Boscia.
Boscia, you cannot. I think Corpus might be hipping a little bit on dribble penetration. I don't think you can leave the shooters. You're going to find somebody to guard them and just take a chance on one-on-one defense.
Boscia with 9 of his 12 points coming from downtown. And just too strong out of the hand of Koer, but still with the Islanders, trailing by 3.
Still got plenty of time. With the down 3 with 2 minutes to go, plenty of time. I think he's got to get a shot. I think they've got to run something that's going to get him open. You're running too much clock. You had a nice timeout. We had disorganization. Coach Wilson uses the timeout. That's the smart coach right there.
Kilgore had looked early in that possession over to his head coach, but could not lock eyes with him as Willis Wilson was setting up the players away from the basketball. Well, again, we are just about a month into conference play. Still plenty of action left here on our Game of the Week on the American Sports Network. SFA, your four-time defending regular season champs, go up against, in Hunts Vegas, this year's favorite, and Jason Hooten's Bearcats. And then you take a look at what's still to come.
I don't care what the records are. When Stephen Elton and Sam meet, you can look out. There'll be a big crowd there. I think it'll be a tremendous game. That's Southeastern Louisiana, Northwestern State. That's going to be another great game also.
Look at that February 9th game, though. You might gloss over it just based on their history, but this weekend, UIW with a Sean Johnson three-pointer beats SFA for the first time in program history. Now they have to go to Nacogdoches, over to Johnson Coliseum, and feel the wrath of Coach Keller and his Lumberjacks.
You better be ready, because that's going to be payback time for Stephen Elton. I don't think that they may not be ready for another game, but they're going to be ready for that game.
Mike McConaughey's Demons then will face Southeastern as well as these Cardinals from Lamar to help close out the month of February. Well, the Cardinals right now up by 3 with a little over 2 minutes to play here in regulation. Back on defense, looking for a big stop. Into Thomas. And Rashawn Thomas will go to the free throw line after trying to stay on for 8 seconds was Dorian Chapman.
I think Thomas had ideas of dunking the ball. You're just glad nobody got hurt out of that.
I don't know how many men could handle that pressure as well as Coer did to recognize the open teammate in the post.
Yeah, you got a smart player's got to know how much time's available and then kick it back out.
So the Cardinals are going to call a timeout right now. Thomas will go to the free throw line with a chance to cut this down to a 1-point deficit late. This is what we expected. We knew the Islanders were better than a 2-5 team in conference play. With that said, the Cardinals may very well be better than a 4-3 team in this conference this year.
When you talk to the Lamar people, they just think they let 2 games get away from them. They had a lead down in New Orleans, and they think they could be 5-1 or 6-1 at this time. 6-1 would be correct. I think that right now that got to knock down these free throws. If you're Thomas, you're going to go to the line, and then you got to have some defensive stops. But more than likely, you got to get a defensive rebound.
This is the first of 4 straight home games for Lamar, trying to take care of business on their home floor. You see the numbers off the bench tonight for Thomas. First time to play for the Islanders since back on January 14th.
See, that's one of the reasons their record's what it is. He's one of the best players, if not the best player in the league. He's one of the 5 best players for sure. And when you lose him for 2 games, I don't care who you are, that's tough.
I don't know if there's a post player that I'd rather have shooting free throws than Rashawn Thomas.
Yeah, when you're a big kid, because you're going to get to go to the free throw line a lot.
He has 20 points tonight, about half of that from the charity stripe. Frenchwood will step out on the baseline. A double-double for Rashawn Thomas here on the night, that he becomes the all-time leading scorer for the Islanders.
If I'd have been Lamar, I'd have wanted to go through what I thought. I'd have wanted him to touch the ball and see if he could have made a play. You got to realize the shot clock's running down. Thomas, what a great call from Coach Wilson. That's the play he wanted run. Down to Lamar. I want to come down, and I want to see my man get the ball. I want to see Westbrook get the ball, see if he can make a play, see if they can switch.
Cardinals find themselves trailing all of a sudden after the baseline jumper from Rashawn Thomas. Thomas with the foul. Weisbrod will go to the line with a chance to take the lead.
I don't know why Meade decided he wanted to leave the best player on the Lamar team and go double the basketball. Watch it inside. You see dribble penetration. Meade goes there to the ball. He needs to stay on his man. That's what caused the mismatch.
I mentioned Amin, so good at getting steals and creating transition opportunities, but Willis Wilson, I think, without tuning into our broadcast, is echoing your sentiments.
He's after Meade pretty good. To leave his man and go gamble and try to make that play, you want to stay down, stay on your man. You left the player that's averaging almost 16 points a game. He's shooting 50%. You might want to leave a non-shooter, but you never leave the best player.
Oh, we take a look at what is on the horizon here after tonight. Still very much in doubt in this evening's Wednesday matchup. For the opposing Cardinals, again, 3 more home games. And for the Islanders, they'll take on ACU, HBU, and Southeastern before hitting the road over to Lake Charles, take on McNeese, and again, a rematch of Battle of the Cardinals against UIW.
Okay, now, this is just anybody's game. Both coaches, Lamar's going through. They're going to go through the scenario, what you do if you make one, if you make both, if you make neither one. If you're, right now, if you're at Corpus Christi, you've got to decide, you got to tell your kids, let's block out, let's don't allow them to miss this free throw and get a rebound.
Weisbrod is shooting 2. He's 1 of 3, now 2 of 4 from the line.
Now the question is, if he makes this, and if you're Corpus Christi, do you hold for one shot and go for the win? Always, that made a difference whether I was on the road or at home. If I was behind by a point, I always went for and got the best shot I could get.
Islanders have pulled their freshmen off the floor. They have 4 seniors and a junior here for perhaps the final play.
I'm going to run the clock down. I'm going to let it get to 5. I tell you now, Lamar's not going to get the last shot. They didn't do it at halftime. At halftime, Lamar got the ball. They're going to double team this ball.
It's all or nothing here. Either take a lead or go to overtime. No whistle. Martinez. And we have more basketball left here in Beaumont. Islanders got the final couple of looks. The Cardinals survive, and it'll be overtime when we return here on the American Sports Network. Not calling pass interference on the final play.
No.
Well, still energy in the stands. We'll see how much the Cardinals and Islanders have left in the tank with 5 additional minutes up on the clock. It is overtime here inside the Montagne Center. Lincoln Rose, Van Chancellor with you. 60 points apiece through the first 40 minutes of play. Not enough to separate these two teams. Both teams shooting better than 40% in this ball game, able to connect well from beyond the arc. Colton Weisbrod, if he can make just one more free throw, this might be a Cardinals win, and they're already heading back to the dorms.
Yeah, and hey, but I'm gonna still go back down. If Corpus gets the last shot of the half, this game's over with.
I'm sure
I think anytime you go to overtime, it favors the home team.
Well, that's something Tick Price emphasized. Finally being back at home for a 4-game homestand. This team does speed off. That's going to be goaltending on Rashawn Thomas. And Lamar is backed up by 2, but Tick talks about this community and how they have embraced this team, and that makes a big difference keeping his players energized.
Good call on the offensive. I thought that you cannot slap the backboard. I thought that Thomas just should have tried to block the shot. I mean, contest the shot.
Kilgore off the mark. Well, fouls do carry over, we remind you, into overtime. Cardinals have been whistled 8 times, the Islanders 6 times. Free throws the rest of the way. Coher with another rebound. Gives him 4 to go with his 14 points. And Amin forgot the basketball. Weisbrod may have had a hand on it.
Great defense by Lamar. They got quick hands. They've forced a lot of turnovers as Corpus has tried to penetrate.
Chance to take a 2-possession lead. Has positioning. And Islanders are fighting themselves over this basketball. The freshman will win the battle with Amin. Past couple of years, this would have been John Jordan, Hamid Ali. This year, the junior Kilgore. Takes it himself, can't finish with the left, but will go to the line.
Nice job of penetrating by Kilgore. You see a screen by Thomas, carry it to the basket, switch his hands over. Nice call. Now it's just going to come down to who can make free throws. Kilgore's been a 79% shooter this year. It's pressure time. He's going to have to step to the line and be able to make them when it counts.
He becomes just the 3rd Islander to step to the free throw line. As Rashawn Thomas 8 for 8, Ehab Amin 3 for 4. Team now as a whole is 12 of 13, and that has helped force overtime for the Islanders, essentially.
But this has been one whale of a Southland talk. I'm going to tell you, this conference has got some really good teams, some really good coaches that do a great job.
Well, the middle of the pack has gotten better, and the bottom of this league has gotten even better. That's put pressure on the top teams.
Yes, and just possession after possession. This game has just been close all the way through.
Hale got a hand on it and a hand in the face. Second chance points as it fell into the lap of Nzikor.
That was a man rebound off of that one over Thomas. He just went up over and I did a nice job.
No surprise, double team on Thomas. They find the open man, Coher. Rattles it home.
Is that 5-3 balls?
Raiders' first 4 of the ball game and connects here in overtime.
What a game. I've said it 2 or 3 times. This is an enjoyable game to do. A lot of great plays.
Trying to pull it right back. Well, Thomas comes down with it, but give Kilgore credit for punching that ball away from Weisbrod's reach.
I do. I think if you're Corpus, Coach Wilson slowing it down. His players may be a little tired. He's had to play big minutes. Now you got to come down and take a shot.
Jake Gore with 17 points tonight. Make it 19. A 3-point lead for the Islanders here in overtime.
What a game the young man is having. Lamar's got there. When they snap the floor, they're hunting a defensive stop.
Looking for their 3rd in a row. Around Amin and a chance for a three-point play.
I think, as you'll see right now, you see great penetration. I thought way outside that, I think you call a foul. You don't let the refs have a chance. You make them make a play. You get off of them. You don't step out there and contest that far out.
Well, Tick Price's starting guard, Joey Frenchwood, has been confident tonight, but was only 1 for 5 before making that one a moment ago. And cannot tie it.
And if you look at it, Lamar has had really inconsistent. Some games they've shot free throws well, some games they have not.
That is a 10-second backcourt call. Shot clock was down to 19. That's the fastest 10 seconds, though, I've seen.
Yeah.
I imagine it started with 30.
I think you got to get the ball across the line. You got to know that. You can't walk it up. You can't get beat late in the game because of that.
Taken right back by Kilgore.
I bet he gets it across the line this time.
Yeah, with 6 seconds to spare. Islanders have the advantage. Thomas. No second chance opportunity this time.
I thought Thomas ought to got under the basket, but it wasn't a bad look.
A field goal for the lead. A 3 would put them up by 2. A 3-second difference in the 2 clocks. Fans are on their feet, hoping the Cardinals can squeeze in the final bucket. Hale got a fingertip on it. And a breakaway the other way. Cardinals commit the foul. Free throws coming up for the Islanders. A chance to grow a 1-point lead. And A&M-Corpus Christi wants an intentional foul.
Yeah, that wasn't an intentional foul. That was just a smart foul.
The officials are going to talk it over as Roger Schmitz and Jason Barth. Islanders had a man who had broken away, but he was not the one with the basketball.
Yeah, but I'm going to come back, and I'm going to still say this. I think that there was a foul. It was not an intentional foul. But I think if you're Lamar, you've got a player that Corpus Christi says double-teamed every time down the court. You have got to go to Watchbrook and make him touch the ball, double it, and go inside out. They have tried to score outside in, but there's still plenty of time. If he makes both free throws, it's still be a 3-point lead. He's going to have 2 shots at this time.
Well, the Islanders are trying to get back on track, in part with the return of Rashawn Thomas. Tonight he becomes the all-time leading scorer for the Islanders in program history. In regulation, a double-double, 22 points, 10 rebounds, now a couple more in overtime. He is your Southland Strong player of the game. The Islanders had 22 points off the bench in regulation. They all belong to this young man.
I don't think there's any question. I'm telling you right now, he could be player of the week in the league because he's had that kind of game. But now, if you're Lamar, you still got to, Coach Bryce has got to say to his team, we have plenty of time. 13 seconds. Guys can just dribble the length of the court. Okay.
Yeah, the officials are going to look at that last foul, I believe, for the positioning of where the Islander was when the foul's committed on this breakaway the other direction after Hale got a fingertip on that shot. Out of your shot in the front court, that angle.
But the NBA, this is not the NBA. There's no clear path. That was just a good, smart foul. And now you got to be able to knock down 2 free throws. But I'm going to say this. If you're Lamar, I'll give it to you on this end, you have got to block out. You cannot let them miss a free throw and get that. Number 2, when you get it on the other end, Corpus Christi, most games are won. I lost the national championship in 2008 when I was coaching at LSU because we didn't block out on a made shot. The missed rebound, put back in, beat us for it. And now you're going to step up to the line with an 80% shooter. Amin is a nice shooter. You're going to get Thomas back.
Islanders are not yet in the double bonus. It is the 1-and-1 for Amin. Again, the difference was, had there been the intentional foul, you'd have the free throws and possession. Not the case here.
There's a lot of difference now between shooting 2 free throws and 1 plus 1. Now, if you make this, it's a three-point line. If I'm Corpus Christi, I'm going to guard the three-point line. I'm not going to double down. I'm going to let them go inside with the ball.
Islanders have still only missed 1 free throw all night long, and that'll stay the case. The charity stripe may very well prove to be the difference maker for A&M-Corpus Christi tonight.
Yeah, I think they've done a great job as you look at it right now. As you see them, that would make them 13 for 14. On the other hand, Lamar's with 5 out of 13. When I talked to the people at Lamar, talked to Coach Price, the SID here, they were all talking about one game they shot free throws well, the next game they didn't shoot them as well. And it looks like tonight this is one of them. It has been a case of free throws. Now, but let's look at it. If you're Lamar, I don't know that you've got quite enough time to dribble, penetrate, take a quick 2, and then foul. I think you're going to have to set up a play to look at a 3-ball. But if I'm Corpus Christi, I'm going to give up a 2-ball shot. They're not going to make the 3 right now.
This is where you eventually start to debate, does a coach commit a foul, send them to the line to shoot 2 instead of giving them a chance to make a 3?
13.7, I'm not going to take
too much time.
I want it to get down to, now if it gets down to 5 with a 3-point lead, with Thomas and Kilgore doing the rebounding, I'm going to do a nice job of blocking it.
I mentioned it's not the NBA as Lamar cannot start the ball in the front court. No shot clock, 5 seconds left for the tie. The Islanders have come into Beaumont and picked up their first road win in conference play as Rashawn Thomas's return has put the Islanders back in the win column.
Yes, have you ever seen a game turn so much? At one time, Lamar was up 5, had the game under control, could not make enough shots. Give Coach Wilson's Willis Wilson's team enough credit for fighting back, for hanging in. This is a big-time win for this program this year.
40 minutes was not enough, but 45 proved to be all that Willis Wilson's squad needed for the road win before a 5.5-hour drive back down to the Island University. One final time for Van Chancellor and our fantastic ASN crew. A reminder, our next game on ASN in the Southland Conference will be SFA at Sam. Always a good one in Huntsville. I'm Lincoln Rose from Beaumont, Texas. The Islanders win it in OT, 69-66. Islanders back on track.